this meeting of the Mitchell City Council to order. And I see that all councilmen are present and accounted for. I have a statement that I have to read before each meeting according to the state regulations. Now, I've buried it somewhere. Oh, here we go. This meeting of the Mitchell City Council is being live streamed. The meeting is also being recorded and will be archived on the city's YouTube channel and a link added to the website. This recording is being made in compliance with Indiana's open door law. The recording, along with any agenda and minutes, will be made available for public inspection under the Indiana Access to Public Records Act. The recording will be retained for a minimum of 90 days. This recording is not the official minutes of the meeting, and those in attendance consent to being recorded. YouTube channel is City of Mitchell IM. All right, I think that each member of the council has a copy of last month's minutes. If you want to take a few moments to look those over, see if there needs to be any additions or corrections. If you find none, I would entertain a motion for approval of the minutes as presented.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented to the June 2nd meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Under old business, first item is we had the Dana building for sale with a minimum bid of $300,000. We received one bid. We will open it now and see what it says. Says, I, Tom England, and Jason England will offer $300,000 for the old Dana building. And they have both signed it and dated it today. So I think that would qualify as an official acceptance of the bid. All right, so.
What we would typically do after today is get authorization, number one, to sell it for that amount. Council's comfortable with that, and that was the minimum bid. And then enter into a purchase agreement with the bidder, and then have them sign that purchase agreement, get title insurance and closing date set, and they take care of it from there.
So would it be best to have a vote then of council approval at this point? All right, I'll ask for a motion that we.
I make a motion that we accept one bid for $300,000 for the Dana building, and depending on all the legal documents and stuff like that to proceed with the sale.
I second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we will begin the process. Second, under old business, we have some adjustments to the dog ordinance. I suggest that unless you want to get into an in-depth discussion, that you take these home now that they've been put in print. Look them over, and we will try to finalize at the next meeting. Any discussion that you want to make on that at this moment, or would you prefer to look it over and think about it?
Hey, I've got a question though. The tie out says no more than 2 hours. Is that 2 consecutive hours, or is that 2 hours?
2 consecutive, I think, is the intent. In other words, the idea being that on a 95-degree day, you don't want to leave your animal out on a chain in the sun with no protection from the weather. Lease gives us the authority to do something about it. Talk to the homeowner, fine them if necessary.
I suggest to everybody go through their old ordinance and compare it with this one here, or what the changes are. So
this is just in addition to what we already have. Right, I need a motion to table that until July.
I'll make a motion to table that till July.
I second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we will give the dogs and cats a break for 30 days. All right, under new business, this is gonna be a busy week, especially Friday, or Saturday, excuse me. On Saturday the 12th, we're looking at several road closures for celebrations and open houses. Magical Vacation Planners, July 12th, which is Saturday, is gonna have a ribbon cutting at 11 a.m. They're asking permission to close 9th Street for one block, the block between their new building at the corner of 9th and Highway 60, and what used to be, I'll show my age here, Ted's Drive-In. Because after the ribbon cutting, they're gonna have 4 hours of open house tours that are actually scheduled that you could sign up for so that everybody wouldn't be there at once. And for that period of time, they'd like to have the road blocked off so there wouldn't be cars going back and forth.
What time's that supposed to start? Okay.
The first tour actually is at 1.
One, okay. Then.
Even though the ribbon cutting's at 11, it's like 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, I think, and then they'll be done. So I would, any other questions in regard to that? I do know that they told me they sent out RSVPs, their own people that are coming in from Florida and the rest of the country. They figure they'll have between 350 and 500 people there. So that's a lot of people to look the building over. That may create some parking situations, but
That's
we'll work
that,
on it.
that's that new long building, it's where the pizza place and all that was.
Right.
How far are we closing it? From right there at 60 till,
Just one block to
Just
Wright
one block.
Street, because so that the people that live back there still have access
Okay.
to their homes, so it'll just be a one block closure.
And, Troy's been in conversation with him too, so he knows, and I'm sure if you got an influx of that many people, it's gonna be a little more, touchy, but,
I do know they have talked to neighboring property owners about, is it okay, this is what's gonna happen, such as across the street at Jamie's place. They've talked to at the trading post, if it would be okay, could they park some people up there?
you know, I think George even mentioned the church. if they-
Church is available.
So they'll be parking and doing some walking.
We can serve some drinks when they get at the walk.
Yeah. I'm gonna set me up a lemonade stand.
I will ask for a motion to approve that, if there's no other discussion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the closing of, what is that, in 9th Street?
Yeah,
9th Street from Highway 61 block
Yeah, to Wright Street.
Right. to Wright Street.
I'll second that. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Who
Opposed?
seconded that? Who seconded that? That?
And if that's not enough going on that day, Hoosier Uplands will celebrate the 10th anniversary of the opening of the Opera House, also June the 12th. 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. with food trucks, a magic show at 2 p.m. and outdoor carnival games from 3 to 6 p.m. Of course, then they will have a concert in the Opera House at 7 p.m. by Endless Summer. They're requesting to close 7th Street in front of the Opera House, just in front physically of the Opera House, and Brook Street between 6th and 7th. They're going to have, I think it's the Lions Club in Bedford, come over with one of those barrel trains where the little kids can ride it, and they want to ride up and down that block. And then also they want to, during the carnival time, they want to close Brook Street along the side of the Opera House to to Eighth Street, but as soon as that's done, they'll move the barricades on Eighth so that the traffic can come in for the evening concert. So, any concerns in regards to that?
They just want that in front of the Opera House, probably need some kind of signage or something on, Warren Street. So people don't turn down, partially down the block.
We could probably sign that, or, of course, you do have the alley to go either way.
Might block it off there at the alley.
Well,
I
we
don't know.
definitely won't leave the, well, we
Yeah.
could leave, we have to leave Chastain's parking lot open because there might be a funeral that day as well. There's no way to know. So no, they don't wanna block it except right there at their building.
Sounds like a busy day.
It's gonna be hard. You'll have to choose where you wanna be and when you wanna be there.
You said, of course, they're supposed to have a endless summer there, Opera House, and then is
Yes.
vacation planners supposed to have.
At the same time, the Magical Vacation Planners are gonna have a concert in the MHS auditorium at 6 o'clock. And I was told today, don't quote me even though it's on streaming,
Hold you to it.
I was told that it was REO Speedwagon, which you're talking about an old 70s group that had some big hits.
Without Kevin Cronin.
So, we'll see. When I talked to them the very first time, they said it was gonna be a surprise.
Yeah.
So, but now today, just today, I heard that they said it was REO Speedwagon.
And
So that
when
was
is
neat.
that concert gonna be?
That's the same day we got the budget meeting, right?
No,
No, I thought it was the 12th.
Well, it was 12.
Oh.
I think that date different,
misprint, the
Maybe.
15th.
15th. Okay.
And where's that concert at?
The high school auditorium.
Oh.
So there'll be one there, there'll be one at the Opera House, just an hour apart, so you'll have to decide which one you wanna go to.
And if they don't show up over there at high school, they say, well, Don L said that it was going to be there.
Yeah, I'll be in trouble, won't I?
Yeah.
If there's any REO
I
aficionados
don't
out
think
there.
that's gonna happen.
Huh?
I don't think that's.
So,
Anyway, gonna need to be some entertainment, so
yeah, plenty of entertainment.
Yeah.
need a motion on that, don't you, on
Yeah.
Opera
I
House?
will mention that, talked to Hoosier Uplands today and they said, of course, if you've looked ahead, you know, the weather, predicting a week out's almost impossible. But it does show about a 50-50 on Saturday and they said if it looks like that or more, the outdoor activities would probably be canceled. So the indoor concert would still take place. So I guess I need a motion for permission to do that.
I'll make a motion that we close the 7th Street right in front of the Opera House for the duration of whatever they wanted.
Okay, like I said, that would also include, Brook Street from
Right.
6 to 8, and then 7th to 8th for a short period of time. Cause they'll have to open that up for the crowd to come in. I second that. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? We'll close some more streets, hey? And while we're at it, let's just close some more, but not on July the 12th. We might as well get the Persimmon Festival Committee requested that we go ahead and give them permission for street closures for the Persimmon Festival. September 22nd to the 27th, will be the same streets as last year. Main from 8th to 5th, 7th from the railroad tracks to the post office, 6th from the railroad tracks to Warren Street, North Mississippi from the edge of the Dunbar property to the old Homes Hardware warehouse, which is what we had closed last year. So that keeps the fire lane open down the alleys, so vehicles can get in and out.
And I think, of course, it doesn't include, we'll go ahead and take care of this, that I'll make a motion that we do the street closures as we have in the past, the ones listed, that you've listed there for
signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
What I started to mention there, of course, the tent company will be in here on Friday of that week. So we'll have to have some barricades up there for them to put up their tents. And as I understand it, we'll have the nightly food tent, there won't be a craft tent, as I understand, is that correct?
Correct.
So you got a space there, but we'll have to have some barricades so they can do their work. And then the Phi Betas will have a tent, and Varsity Club
Yeah,
is
they're
having
gonna
a
have a
tent
tent.
again this year. So we'll have to have barricades a little bit there
Does that,
on that Friday.
does that fall under the other thing?
No,
Have to do that separately?
we don't have to separate, but just to notice it.
Yeah,
We'll
okay.
have
Right.
barricades up there. And I think one thing during the festival too, depends on how much stuff they get down from Phi Base tent towards the railroad. We didn't have rides down there last year, but we had quite a bit of cars parking all the way up almost to the Phi Base every night. And caused quite a, conglomeration, I guess you call it. But anyway, that's something I think they're gonna try to alleviate the people parking, after the hours up there. Cause that's people with the kids and everything going in and out, and then people trying to back in and can't, they'll have to back out and whatever, so it's kind of a hazardous situation there, and I think Troy's aware of that too, so something to look forward to, so that's all I got to say.
All right, next on the agenda is, permission to move bank accounts. This is basically based on the fact that, Mid-Southern has been bought by Beacon Credit Union. And the credit union does not meet every requirement in order to carry government banking accounts. And that also at the same time, we were getting a much higher rate of interest on our money at German American. So we have a resolution here, I'll try to read it rather fastly. And a resolution of the Common Council of City of Mitchell, Indiana, authorizing the closure of a bank accounts and transfer of funds. Whereas the Common Council of the City of Mitchell, Indiana has determined that it is in the best interest of the municipality to close certain bank accounts, whereas the accounts in question identified as bank account number 2 ending in 1140, water department account, bank account number 3 ending in 1157, sewer department account, bank 4 ending in 1165, water bond and interest, account bank 32 ending in 1361, sewer meter deposit, bank 33 ending in 1397, police pension, bank 34, account ending in 1362, water meter deposit. At Beacon Credit Union, formerly Mid-Southern Savings Banks, we will be moving to German American Bank number accounts 2, 3, 4. We'll have separate accounts with German American. And accounts 32, 33, 34 will be deposited into a new account numbered number 1, and will maintain separate fund listings. Part of the benefit of going through this process is it's amazing how many different bank accounts we've got. It's enormous, almost every fund has its own account. And according to the State Board of Accounts, and Vicki has looked into this very closely, a lot of these accounts can be combined, which will simplify record keeping tremendously. To continue, be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Mitchell, Indiana, that the clerk treasurer is hereby authorized and directed to take all necessary steps to close the bank account listed above. Any remaining funds in the account after satisfying any outstanding obligations shall be transferred to the German American Bank. The clerk treasurer is authorized to make, sign, and deliver checks or drafts to facilitate this closure and fund transfer. The clerk treasurer is directed to notify the bank or financial institution regarding the account closure in writing and obtain written confirmation. This resolution shall be in full force and effect upon its passage and adoption by the common council. If so approved, this will be adopted by the common council of the city of Mitchell, Indiana on the 7th day of July, 2025. So, any questions from the council regarding this?
I did an interest comparison based on all of our deposits last year, and for similar bank account balances, in 1 month we got paid in interest $7.64 for an account again with this pretty much the same amount deposited. We got paid $209.76. That's 1 month, so it makes just financial
Business-
sense to do
business
that.
sense.
Yeah.
Anything else, anybody? Okay, I'll make a motion for resolution.
I'll have to number it once we get once we get it approved.
2025, to transfer the funds, clerk treasurer responsible for making these, adjustments and working with the institutions and, the legal part of it, so they can handle that, so.
I second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, it has been adopted by the common council, and we will have some paperwork for you, the council to sign and make it official. All right, I believe next on the agenda is public comments. Diane, you are up.
I'm gonna sit, I live at
Wait,
1160 West Grissom
wait,
now, right in
She needs to
front.
go up there so we can.
We have to.
I gotta go up there.
Yeah.
By
And-
law,
and
we
state your
have to-
name
we have
fully,
to
please.
stream this.
And state your name again for everybody.
Diane Craig,
Okay, thank you.
I live at 1160 West Grissom Street, right in front of the old Dana building. And we have been dealing, the park and myself, dealing with the water draining down over the hill for almost 2 years. And it is getting infested with mosquitoes.
Where's it draining from?
Oh, there's a nice brick little thing up there, it's full of water and the birds have a pool.
That was it, from the,
There is a leak up there somewhere.
is it from the Dana plant?
No,
it's from the.
It's the one from the, where the recycle area?
they don't know.
Okay,
Fred told me that they do not know where it's at.
okay.
He told me a month ago, and he put out little white flags, he said, we're hoping to get this done real soon. That was a month ago. But it's getting worse. If you come over there and you look down that hill, you can see the sludge and everything from that thing, and like I said, the birds have a heyday up there.
Sure.
But it runs down and it goes underneath the gate alongside the Grissom there and runs down through the sewer. And you can't sit outside because you get eat up. And it's pretty bad when it's really nice like today, but you can't sit outside.
Well, I wonder if they've tested it, if it's
Find out if it's,
city water, or I don't know if there's any way to go up there and, presuming it come from the recycle.
I don't know. He just said that they are not sure where the leak is. I said, well, start digging. But I'm serious.
Yeah.
There, I took pictures and a video, and it's probably, I would say 4 by 6 rectangle, and it's full of water. You can see where it's just running out all the
Is it
time.
up there by the gate?
No, it's up there by the pole.
Oh,
There is a cross tie up there, or a sawhorse, I mean,
okay.
that's sitting up there, and you know, okay, you know where the big parking lot is there in front of the building?
Yes.
Okay, if you come in off of Orchard, you come in that way, there is a big pole right there, and where it tees off from the building.
Okay.
And it's brick, and like I said, it's full of water, and you can see down at the bottom where it's coming out, and it's just running just as pretty as you can be. And I told Ron the other day, he was out there working, I said, have you ever noticed how you can, it just sounds like somebody's pouring water down that sewer. It's terrible. And then a lot of it along the street there, it's old green sludge. So I I'd just like to get it fixed.
Well, I'll get with Tyler and Fred and we'll see if we can't move that up. I mean,
So,
you wouldn't believe the list of water leaks. I mean, we have a lot of old infrastructure, but that's obviously a
I've
large.
lived over in the
leak.
park for 7 years. And several of us have talked, and it's been over 2 years that we've had this mosquito problem and everything, and the water running. I mean, even Carolina Sutherland, she called 2 years ago complaining about it, and nothing's been done. So, it's
We'll try-
either,
We'll try to get on it.
okay, I'll hold you to it.
I expect you to. Any other things to bring before the council?
I guess we need to take that and study it.
Yes, I think each one of the councilmen has we just had an IDAM inspection, new inspector, and you know how it is when somebody brand new comes in, they have to find things. So they have several things that they want us to look at. One of them is they want us to inspect all of our water towers, which means drain them down so they can go inside of them and check the walls. So that's a pretty complicated issue to keep your water flow. We've gotta do just one at a time and be kinda careful about it. Plus, they were talking about maybe we had to repaint one, the big one on Brook Street, next to the cemetery. And there were other issues, so, we're preparing a plan of action to send back. And matter of fact, I think that's gonna go back this week to them. But the council this just came in this week, so the council will have a copy and be able to study it. And put their input in.
Good. Something to read on slow night.
Is there such a thing? Anything else needs to be brought before the council? Any other?
Had a lot of good compliments on the fireworks. And, a lot of people enjoyed it. The police, they would have the extra patrols out, and heard some good responses off that, so it's a good thing.
We like good comments,
Yeah.
you know?
Don't hurt to have a few now and then. Okay.
Okay, do we need to sign that resolution?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll pass that around when we're done.
I didn't sign, but I wanted to thank that my alley got fixed after several years, we won't say how many, at least 5.
You're welcome. Very welcome.
Okay,
I'll entertain a motion that we adjourn.
motion adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There won't be any of you opposed, I know that.
That is our